What's the most bizarre thing you believed as a child? As a child, I firmly believed that the moon was a giant, glowing piece of cheese. It wasn't just any cheese, either. It was a special, magical cheese, one that could grant wishes if you were lucky enough to get close to it. This belief began when my grandmother told me bedtime stories about the cheese moon. She spun tales of moonlight being the soft, golden glow of melted cheese, and that every time a full moon appeared in the sky, it was because the moon was ripe for a new batch of wishes. I vividly remember staring up at the night sky, mesmerized by the moon's pale radiance, wondering if it was possible to fly there one day. Armed with a tiny plastic telescope, I'd point it at the moon, imagining that if I stared long enough, I might spot a giant mouse nibbling away at its surface. The idea that someone might find a way to climb up to the moon and eat the cheese was thrilling, and I was convinced that the moon would grant my wildest wish if I was patient enough. Years passed, and one evening, I remember being a little older, sitting with my friends in the backyard. I excitedly shared the secret of the cheese moon with them, expecting their amazement. But instead, they laughed and teased me for being so silly. "You really thought the moon was cheese?" they asked, incredulous. It was only then that I realized the world had moved on, and I had unwittingly outgrown a childhood fantasy. I couldn't help but chuckle at my younger self, yet a part of me still felt a little wistful. The moon, in all its mystique, still seemed like a magical thing, a reminder of simpler days, when the sky itself held 1,000 possibilities. And perhaps, just for a moment, I missed believing that magic was real and that the moon might really grant wishes if you believed enough.